Recording. So hello. The ideas that something is not going anymore. So it's the weekend of the live weekend, 18, 19, 17, 18, 19 December in Amsterdam. We have postponed it because of the corona. It's not possible yet in Amsterdam. So we'll do it in April, to the 22, 23, 24 April. So maybe you can join, maybe also for the people from outside Holland, it's possible. And instead of that, we have planned a Zoom weekend. So we do on the Saturday 18 and the Sunday 19, both afternoons is from 2 till 5. There's another Zoom meeting, so you're welcome to join then. Okay.
Dus 18 en 19 december, Rose, en niet 17 en 18.
Oh, it's 18, it's Saturday 18 and Sunday 19. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
You see it on the website. Okay. This is already everything. It's already complete. Nothing to talk about, nothing to do, nothing to change. It's already what's happening, and that sounds a bit strange. Everything is already what's happening. Some people say, yeah, duh, I already knew. Of course, that's so literally there that everybody knows in some way. And still, there's something always going on, that there's something not right yet, something missing, something has to change. There's something we can grow, and it's not have to anymore. So in this time, it's more, we can, yes, we can. So we can grow and we can, it sounds very nice. A lot of things sounds very nice, especially when there's a feeling of it's not right, Ned, I'm not feeling so okay, then it sounds very nice that people say to you, you can grow and there can happen something, there's still hope, and maybe someday you feel good and things like that. So that's a longing for feeling good. It's very normal. And in the same time, and that's what this message is about, it can also be like there's always something not right yet. That's the other side of hope. So this message is more saying that this is already everything. It's not even a message like you have to hear it or you have to listen or it's important you understand what's going on. It's not even that. There's no agenda. There's nothing going on about you have to, it's good that you understand or it's will be help, of any help, that there will be something happening to you that will be me or more special or more a good feeling or more relaxation. This is of no help. It doesn't matter if you're in this meeting or you're walking outside. It's just different. Everything is just happening and it's just different. Nothing is more important than anything else. So, of course, that's also about this message. It's not more important or more special or more the truth than anything else. What is said here is also not the truth. It's just what's happening. And maybe there's coming some clarity. We're talking about things in the story and maybe there are some beliefs falling away. It doesn't matter if it's happening or not, because it's already complete. It's already complete as it is. That's strange to hear. We're not used that this life is all called like already complete. It's already perfection. And we are calling perfection, it's like no bad feelings anymore, like bad feelings, whatever it is. No stress, no pain, that seems to be perfection. Perfection is more like, it's just how it is. That's the perfection. It can't be some other way. It doesn't have to be some other way, because that's exactly how it is. It's not nice, it's not good, it's not bad either. It's just what it is. So this is more a describing. And when there's someone, there seems to be someone and trying to live your life and have a body, have a life, and your own feelings and thoughts and things going on. And when that's happening, there's always somewhere a feeling of there's something not right, or has to change something, or I want that, or to compare with others. And then there seems to be, oh, it's important that I listen to this message or something else, because maybe that brings me somewhere, or that learns me something, or maybe I can understand it, or, oh no, it's not about understanding. But there's something, when there's someone, there's always something about doing. Me is the doer. It wants to do or not to do. That's the only thing it can understand. And when it's hearing this, it's not about doing or not doing. It's outside of the story. Then it's weird, because we are only seeing that there's this story. There's this, what is happening, circumstances, bodies, other people having a life and doing things with that. Everything seems very real and solid. And then there's somebody saying nothing is solid. It's only an apparent life. So there's going on a little bit maybe about trying to understand what apparent is. Don't bother. You will not understand this at all. It doesn't matter. Sometimes there will be some clarity and understanding about what is being said, but it doesn't matter. Life doesn't need understanding. Life is just what it is in any way, in trees, in moving a hand, in feelings. It's just that energy. It's aliveness. And it's aliveness everywhere. It's the only thing there is. There's only aliveness. And that doesn't mean it's like a much energy, because that's also a misconception about this, that it's like, oh, but I don't feel alive. It doesn't mean that it's feeling alive. Everything is aliveness. So it can be like low energy of boredom, then that frustration, that energy is it. That is the aliveness. That's the way aliveness shows itself, you could say. So it can't be not it. So nothing to look for, nothing to change. There's no need to change. And when there's trying to change, then that's what's happening. So it can't be wrong. It's already complete. It's already what it is. And that's where we can talk about and saying things about that. So we'll see what happens. So if you want to say something or ask or share, please do.
Beeld bevriezen regelmatig.
Oh, echt waar?
En weer stopt erin praten.
Oh my God, the internet. I hear the internet is not good. I did try. Oh, that's...
Your view is very good.
Oh, I can't do anything else what I did, so we have to do it with this. Mm. Mm. Yesterday I was watching television, and even in the television there was freezing an image. So I was like, oh, it's over there. It's also happening in the professional world.
Oh yes, of course. There's no difference. I had that also with my colleagues last week when I have a meeting by Teams. I had also a frozen image.
Yeah. Okay. And I see. Oh yeah. Some people say, it's okay. Okay, so we'll see. So I will come back. I hope. I don't know. We'll see.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You've said sometimes in these talks that this is about loss, and maybe the loss could be some things you care about, or beliefs and things like that, and other things. So I listened into the talk this morning, and there was a point about personal freedom. And I realized that, and in the talk I talked to you a bit, and you said that, and I realized that I care about personal freedom. And it was an issue that came up because of what's happening in Germany and with the COVID, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of said that it's like a non-issue in the sense that there is no personal freedom. And although the lady who brought up the issue about what was happening in Germany cared, that it seemed like there was a new authoritarianism about, and taking away of freedoms. And you sort of answered that it's like it didn't matter, that because there's no personal freedom anyway. I know you didn't use these words, but it's like, why bother if there's no personal freedom? If you have a tyrannical government, or the opposite, or in between, none of it matters, and there's no world anyway. There's no society. But I find that I still care about personal freedom. I mean, obviously, I follow rules, and but there's a point when it seems to matter, or I feel a sense of danger. This is not right. I should do something about it. I should protest. So I don't know if I have a question here. I can, except that I can see that to not care about personal freedom or my personal liberty is like a giving up of something. I find it does matter to me. Does this mean I'm not really listening to you? I'm not really getting the message, or anyway, you understand where I kind of think.
Yeah, but when there's someone, then of course it matters. It seems like it's my freedom, and somebody is taking away from me from tyrannic governments or whatever. And I'm not seeing someone, so there is no personal freedom. There isn't. So when they're talking about it, seems like, that's some other thing. Then it starts really seeing like, what is that personal freedom? Because when normally we say, there's no one, so personal freedom, no, we have no personal freedom. And suddenly it's threatened by governments or things like that. And then suddenly it's feeling like, but I'm caring about myself, and what matters. And then this message can be threatening, or you don't want to hear it, or you go away or something like that. There is no personal freedom. No, there's no one. That's why.
I mean, it's not. I hear you, but there's it's not just my personal freedom. It's thinking about the freedom of society, or you know, I know it's like you're saying, you know, you could say there's no society, but
everything is freedom. In the story, freedom feels like you can do what you want or things like that.
Yeah.
But this is not in the story. Everything is just freedom. It's just life. It's just how it goes. It seems like it's threatened by things that somebody's saying something, but then there's talking in the story. It's about two. It's always about two. Somebody is threatening me. Yeah. So when there's someone, then there can be a feeling of no freedom, of course. But when there's no one, it's very obvious. The freedom is already there. It's only freedom. In that sense, it's not my freedom. It's not Rose or somebody's free. It's just life. Freedom, maybe I don't know if it's a good word, but it's just life. It's going, and it's not about, maybe not about freedom anymore. It's difficult to find a good word for saying how life is, what life is. It's just energy, and it's not looking for some personal issue. When there's somebody, it feels like I want to have my own way or something like that. But that's also the dilemma of me. There will be always freedom or not freedom. That's the dilemma.
I mean, I hear you, but to go along in practice, I mean, like at the moment now, with all the COVID business going on and different countries doing different things, and even within the same country, there seem to be people who are happy to their big care is safety. To be safe.
But that's that's the story, yes. And the story can be anything of free people, or they're tortured, or any story. Yeah. This is talking out. It has nothing to do with the story. Circumstances are not real. It's just apparent. So nothing is really happening, and it seems like there's a lot of things happening. And really, when there's someone, it seems also very solid and real, and so we have to deal with that or take care or anything. And this is so outside all of that. It's not seeing that there's a world. I don't see a world. I just see a table and a computer. It's so literally, but when there's happening something that feels like, oh, it's threatening, like freedom or like measure that taken by the government, then suddenly that whole story about survival is coming and it's starting. Then that's happening.
So absolutely terrible things could be going on around you, to other people as well as yourself, and you just say, well, that's how that's what's happening.
No, of course not. No. I never say that. That's how we call it in the meeting. But when there's somebody hitting in my face, I don't say, oh, that's what's happening. Yeah. Come on, no. That's just a concept about this message. I don't know what will happen. Maybe I slash back, or I don't know. I don't know. Anything can happen.
So fighting back could be what happens too. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Swearing, I don't know. Anything. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
This is not a way of living.
No.
And that's what we are not used to. We are so into how can we deal with freedom, anything, what's happening. And this is not saying anything about that. And that's most of the time that's not her, because it's always changed in something like I will do in a certain way. No, there's no one. So it's just, I don't know, suddenly happening. But anything can happen.
I seem to be in the camp. There's like seems to be two camps of people. I know it's a story, but just let me finish. Seem to be two. Certainly, where I live in the country, there are people who are passionately for safety, and they don't care about the freedom issue. And there are people who care passionately that their freedoms are being taken away. And I seem to be in that camp.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's the threat, and it's like when that's why me can be so strong and that survival system, because there's a threat, and then some people are about safety or not feeling safe, and they have issues with that, or freedom, or anything else. So circumstances seem to confirm that in a way.
Yeah.
So that seems like, oh yeah, but it's really important. Yeah, of course, that's how it is seen. So it can't be, that's life, how it's, I can't say how it's going, but it's
not necessary or for me to give up my concern for freedom.
You can't.
No,
you can't.
No, okay.
When there's a concern, then there's a lot of energy about it, or thoughts, or then that's it. Okay. That's the completeness. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it's something about surviving, and when that's going on, that's But it's not you doing that.
Right.
But it's also not the truth.
I didn't even understand the last comment about it's not the truth.
No, it's not especially for you, but people where some people are in a camp, they think they have the truth.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see. I see what you said. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
It's me again. So
I hear.
Something else. So there's just the appearance of a body. If I look down, I see legs or see the front of my body, but there's no real lungs or heart or arteries or insides. There's just
I don't see it.
Yes. So does this mean there's also no real sickness? So that when there's sickness, what's called sickness, there's just sensations of heat maybe and pain and in space, and we give it a name. We say it's this sickness, but there's no real sickness.
And the strange thing is, in the story, it's still talking about that and going to a doctor and maybe a hospital and things like that. But there's only one. So we are so into before and after and why and naming it and knowing it.
Okay. Because sometimes putting a name on something, it makes it more scary. I mean, sometimes not, I suppose. Sure. You know, when you get told that you've got cancer, for instance, and then you get terrified.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, when there's somebody saying something and there's just a fear can arise, and going to a doctor and anything can happen. The story just goes on, you could say.
Yeah. Okay.
And talking about normal things is also going on. And still there's something else because there's no one doing something with it. It's trying to change it, or it's very difficult really to say what's really going on. Trying to.
I suppose if you give a name to something that, you know, which seems like it's appropriate to call it a sickness in everyday life, not only can it make you scared, or it could also it feels like a thing. The sickness, like I have a thing, and it seems like it's something solid, and that could feel. You can get scared, or
and in the same time, this is not about you, not special you, but this is not about somebody. So this is not a way to try to take that away. It's about there's no one. It's just that energy. We're so into what is happening to me. Maybe I can do something that makes it less terrifying or something like that. And this is really not saying anything about that. It's only saying there's no one. So no one is doing something, and it's happening to no one. Oh, that is... So there's no life of somebody. There's nothing inside. It's empty. So then that gives that whole energy about having a life and being ill, or there's happening something. It's not an issue anymore. It can happen. There can still be maybe cancer, and then I don't know what's going on. That, of course, it's that can be that energy. Yeah. It's very difficult to say how it's going on the day, because it's very simple. It's too simple to say. There's no story at all. And the strange thing is, when they're talking to friends, there seems that they're talking about stories, and Rose did, I did yesterday, I did that, and I join in. So you can't say how Rose is living. You can't make it. You try maybe. There's no point in that.
There seems to be a difference between saying there's no me, seeing there's no me, and seeing there's no real body. There's nothing inside it. There's just the appearance. There seems to be. I mean, they go together. There's no contradiction, but it seems to add extra. Maybe not the right word. It's like it adds extra weight and power to it, to see that there's no real body, that that it isn't something like a tiny extra to that. It's something. It's a big deal. You know.
Yeah, that's sure it is. It is. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's big if there's no world, but if there's nothing, if there's no lungs and no heart.
Then that's something else, because then you don't exist, and then whoa, that's something else, because what is that? Oh, it's strange.
It's like one can sort of think, well, there's no self here, but there's still a body. There's still you know, this body. There's a but if okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
It seems that there's a very strong connection between what is named and what is believed to be true. Like people name things and they put an identity on something, and then they tend to believe that there's things that are true about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're given a name and you believe that you are that name, but I know that I'm not my name, but still it's continuously reasserted as an identity. And therefore you kind of get sucked into believing that you are a certain thing relative to how you're being identified, even though I know that I'm not my name.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm basically unidentifiable life energy in this form, whatever that might be, that I'm not my name, the sound made when I'm responding to somebody. But yet that process of identification continues to arise and be somehow an attraction egoically as a type of something with a past, something with a possible future relative to that past. And so the whole process of identity then seems to be a type of screw up regarding what you're saying about what is just what's arising. It's a type of distraction from that truth. But it's very subtle. It's not something that is very much in your face all the time. It becomes sort of a background noise almost, that it's a process that just keeps arising as a matter of how you're being trained to look at life, how you're in relationship with things, and even events or processes that could happen in the future relative to authority that's making decisions apparently for you or whatever. But this whole situation continues to tend to arise as identity and relationship. So even though that I might know that things are just as they are arising, that's the truth, that this moment is the truth as it is, there's still all of this distraction relative to relationship and identity.
It's not a distraction. It's not a distraction.
Well, it seems to be a distraction though, once you look at it from a point of view of knowing it as identity and not what I am. Like those two things tend to be sort of clashing together. And so it creates a type of dissonance, cognizant dissonance in a way.
Yeah, but it's in some way it sounds a bit wrong. Like,
of course it sounds wrong because it is wrong, but it tends to be something that continues to distract one and bring one to a point of worry or anxiety because of
what's happening.
Yeah,
it's just what's happening, and we are able to see it like it's a distraction because that and that, but it's just what's happening. So there's no distraction because that's already in the story. It seems like there's something going on and it could be different. No, it couldn't. It could not be different because that's what's happening. Or maybe there's living in a dream and seeing things in a certain way. Then that's what's happening. That's the completeness. That's
okay, but the completeness relative to what though? Like
no,
because
there's nothing. There's nothing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. It still seems that the reality is based on relationship. It's based on something you have to believe is true in order to be in relationship and identity to what's going on, whether it's what's arising or what you think is changing you from what's happened in the past. It just seems to be a relationship issue.
Yeah, but it's just a dream, and that when there's that dream, then that's what's happening. It's not wrong. It's only wrong when you think there's someone who's seeing it not right. But there's not someone. There's just that energy going in some way for no one. For just there's even no real body. It's just apparent that energy. So how can it be wrong? But when you see it in the story, like people are there and they don't see it right in a way, then there seems to be relations and looking to something. That's the dream. That's the misunderstanding, or there is just what's happening, and that can be certain thoughts or looking in a certain way. It's just much more simple than that.
Mm-hmm. It just seems that the dream is arising from identity, though. The dream is arising from trying to be in the right place and trying to be relating to life in a way that makes sense. That's where the dream seems to be arising from.
Yeah, but when we're talking in the story, then we can say that. But in the same time, there's no story, and that's only to explain how things can happen. But in the same time, there is no story, there's just this, and that's the moving of the hand. That's everything, or maybe a thought, I believe him, or whatever. So it's very singular, it's very only that. So there is no, what you were saying, that's only in the story, and the story is part of the me. And that's trying to make, to understand what's going on. And that can be understood and seen like, oh, that's the dream, and that. And at the same time, there is no story. That's part of the story is part of the me. There's only this. There's only moving of the hands, a feeling, I don't know, naming the feeling. That's it. Nobody does that. Don't need to understand it or see it. It's already complete as it is. That's new for a lot of conversations, because we are so into there's something, we're doing something and we can do it maybe differently. No, we can't. It's all there is. It's just complete. It's already complete like it goes. Doesn't matter how it is. That's amazing. That's nothing can't be wrong. It can be silly or it can be anything, but it's just that. Without any notice, without anything around, it's just moving in a certain way, thinking, whatever, saying things. We are so into abstracting and looking at what's going on and trying to understand. You can do, but it doesn't bring you anywhere, but can be fun. There's nowhere to go. It's not only there's no one, everything is apparent. How can we go anywhere or decide things? You don't have to know that or understand that. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And that's strange because we are so trying to deal with it or trying to understand or trying to anything. And hearing that there's nothing needing to change. When there's trying to understand, then that's going on. Why not? But it doesn't bring you anywhere. Oh, it doesn't need to, because that movement, that thought is it already. Oh, that's glory. That's, it's already that. That's life. That's the joy.
It just seems odd that when statements are made pertinent to free will, that where does the motivation arise to influence anyone if the case is that there is no free will? If it doesn't matter what I believe and it doesn't matter what other people think about me, where is this arising energy that wants to influence others? You know, it just somehow it doesn't really make any sense that
It's
I would
so
have
embodied.
any interest in influencing anybody else about anything if there is no free will. So
no, but there's a deep believing, embodied believing that there is free will, that there is someone. And then when there is someone and it's so embodied, it's underneath everything, then there's always underneath everything something going on, like, yeah, it's just name it, but like, I want to be safe, I want to be free. There's something going on, and that's really important. So a survival system can be very strong and maybe very subtle also, trying to survive in that world and having men developed, that's the story, developed men that trying to do that. And then maybe in a way knowing there's no free will, but in that when it's threatened, there's something going on underneath that can be so strong. It's not even, sometimes it's not even noticed. That's the energy, it's embodied. An embodied belief, there's free will of there, I am there. And the strange thing is, in the same time, there isn't. That's weird, because we are so into, oh, that's the way it's like, and then it's explaining things, and then at the same time it's saying, but nothing is happening. There's no story.
it depends on a belief in time as well, that the time actually exists. And
In the story, yeah,
and therefore
in the
change
story.
is true, right? So.
Yeah. Well, there's talking, that's the strange thing from this meeting. There's talking in the story and trying to explain things and talk about things. And at the same time, there's something underneath going on. There's no story. There's no world. There's nothing going on. There's no one. Everything is apparent. Nothing is happening. So there's nowhere, no hold, no real answers. Nothing to take home.
So there's nothing to actually be able to step out of and observe.
No.
No. Well, one continues to hope that one can step outside and observe in order to understand. Right.
Yeah. It's about loss. And you cannot do loss. And we are rich in a way, like have a lot of beliefs and concepts, and we don't even know. I can remember I had so many beliefs, and you don't even realize what's going on there. It's so complicated. And then when some beliefs are falling away, that can happen also. Suddenly there's not anything at all, and then it's suddenly like just like it is, and then it's already new beliefs, everything, the me is coming back. It's so strong. But it's lost. When those beliefs just it's energetic. It's not coming back. I don't know why. And suddenly it's like, oh, how could I not see that? But that's overlaid by so many things, and that they're very subtle, can be very subtle also, very clever.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Roosmarijn.
Hey.
I recognize what Paul was saying about when someone else is calling my name, then but no, sometimes, you know, then the contraction came back, and now I see more than it's a kind of a misinterpretation that that was less than before, or without contraction.
So I don't understand. So
yeah, you know, sometimes when people calling my name in a way, in a kind of a way that then I had the feeling that my contraction became stronger. And yeah, then it's more that I had a judge about that happening, but it was just what was happening.
It's just can be a contraction can be stronger, and that's the feeling there somewhere. Not because of the name. It's just a contraction. It's very neutral. We are not so used to neutral when it's about us. Then it's like a bit important, and this is nice, and I don't want that, and it's very neutral. There can be contraction and a sad feeling and moving the hands, and it's very neutral. Everything is very neutral. And then that whole survival system in me is personalizing it and making something of it.
Yeah.
With the identity and things like that. That's the dream. That's the survival. Yeah. And then we think, that's because of that. Maybe I can look at it.
It doesn't work.
It's endless. What's already gone?
Yeah.
But it's a constant, me is a constant being in a survival, trying to make it work. So that when there's nothing, there are moments, there's no me, there's nothing going on. And then everything falls a bit apart, and then suddenly there comes, and it has to do something with that. And it's a constant survivaling going on. It costs a lot of energy. That seems to be very important and normal. Not when that's so embodied, it doesn't feel like a lot of energy because it's so normal.
Yeah, sometimes I feel that the reactions in the body, and I can see it's just a reaction, but yeah, then I also think it has to do with the survival system.
But when that's there, when those reflections or those thoughts are there, then that's the energy. So that's what's happening. So they don't have to go. You can't. It's just there. So it's already there. So, but then there's also like, that's wrong. Oh, I don't have to do that. Oh, it's always something going on like, oh, she said, it has nothing to do with it. I already did that. So there's always something going on like it's subtle or stronger. There's something wrong. That's the me. That's me is always judging, always subtly or stronger, judging what's going on. And that can be so strong and subtle and in another way. And that's that me that's searching for something that sees it's not right.
Yeah.
Nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. It's underneath everything. in everything. Yeah. And also that it's not wrong. So, oh, God, it's amazing how strong it can be. Yeah. Yeah, but it's just that. Yeah. Yeah. It's so embodied, deep feeling like there's something gone wrong and I have to make it right. That's so in everything. It's just that. That's me. Me is this is not right or something like that. Oh, and it's so normal. It's so normal. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. No. Hello, there's a question. Rose, can you speak about how functioning happens in daily life without a personal will? No, I can't. I don't know how to say that. It just happens. There's already no personal will. That's the strange thing. We think it is. We add it on to what's going on. We think that's our will, that because of that, it's everything is happening. But that's just something adding to what's already happening. So it's the same. It's the same as you do, so you could say then, but it's the only thing what isn't there. There's something going on like, oh, this is me doing that. That's lost. The rest is still the same. It was already not there. That's what is seen. It is not that now, before it was there and now it's not there anymore, the me, or something like that. It was already not there. That's what is seen, like, oh, it was never there. Huh. And it's so obvious, of course. Like that. And everything just happens by itself. It always did. And I was thinking I was doing that. It was my decision. No. That's the joy and its message. It's already what you're doing, what already is happening, what's going on by thinking or doing or not doing anything, or it's just that is complete. That's the amazing message. It's already complete. Whoa. And I was looking for something better. No, it can't.
Hi, Rose.
Hey, William. Hi.
Is it all right if I share something that's sort of on my mind at the moment?
Yeah, sure.
All I care about is getting what I want. And in that is the hope that when I finally get the thing I need, then everything will be okay and I won't have to seek anymore. And there'll be one thing that I haven't got and I haven't found it yet, but when I finally get it, it'll resolve everything.
Yeah.
But when the sense of self apparently falls away, or if the sense of self falls away, it's just the end of the need for me to get what I want to become fulfilled.
And the misunderstanding that there's a need for something. Yeah.
So the me never gets fulfilled because it never finds enough.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's never complete. It's always for a while, maybe, or not really what you were looking for. Yeah, because you're looking for something. It's just something. Maybe you don't know really what it is when there's something like know me or something. You don't really know what it is, but it has to be the glory of everything. So, but it's something for you. Yeah.
And it has to be something that I can hold on to.
Yeah, it's hopefully forever, not for a moment. Not an awakening, no. I want everything, come on, for always. Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it would be like. I was going to say to live life, but that might not be the right way of saying it. But I can't imagine what it would be like to live life without this constant effort to get the next thing, get the next thing, get the next thing.
No,
But
of course. No, you don't have to. When that's it, that effort, that's what's happening. That's what you're looking for. It's just that.
I hate feeling powerless because I can't change what's happening and I can't change my situation to become a non-seeker or a non-me.
Because you think it's wrong. There's such a strong thing about being a seeker. It can be different because then I don't feel like that anymore or something. So feeling like there's always something going on, like that's wrong. I don't want that. I want peace, or I don't know, happiness or whatever, quiet. But that is it. That's it, the word. That's it, man. I can't, like that. That's life, full on. In any way, or is it full on? Doesn't mean strong or something, but it's just that's the way it's then happening.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, that's it.
I still think you've got something. I still think, well, that's easy for you to say because you've got what you need. And that's how I see liberation. Somebody gets what they need.
No, it's not about need. No. I can think about things like, I want to have much more money or something like that. But and then it's gone. It's not that. It's not something, it's everything. It's everything. So no escape. It's looking like that. Is it? That's it. It's too simple. It's too, I want more, something like that. Okay, yeah, well, I want more. That's it too. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it. It's the only thing there is.
Yeah. And the simplicity's hidden because the me's on top of everything, making it into a complicated story. It can't, it's already that this is.
Yeah. And in the same time, it's that complicated story. And in the same time, it's saying all those words, that's it. There's no meaning in those words, doesn't matter. It's just those words saying, that's it. That's already it. Nowhere to go.
Thank you.
Thanks. I see something, thank you, Anita. Did anything change in the way decision are being made, maybe? I don't know. There are decisions, but
Ik ga kaartje knikken, ik moet niet calls maken.
Oh. Oh, one moment. Oh God. Ons has to be spotlighted. Okay. One moment. Oh, yeah. Did anything change in the way decisions are made? Decisions are made, but it's not, it's very clear, but not in the head or something like that. It's just nothing going on about that, about decisions. Can be like wanting to skate and then seeing the weather and thinking, oh no, I'm not going to skate when it's bad weather. Maybe they're skating or not skate. Yeah, then it's always, you can't describe it because it seems that's the only thing there is. It always seems like someone is deciding that, but it isn't, and that's very obvious. And it doesn't matter. Nothing is busy with that. If that maybe is this a decision of the me or is it just going? Nothing is busy with that. It's just going like that. And there's nothing going on about decisions. And that's like that. And then it's forgotten. Or we say it's forgotten. It's not really forgetting. It's just not there. It's just gone. So there's nothing going on about, oh, did I do the right thing? Or, oh, what could I be better at? I don't know. All those thoughts, they just not come. Maybe that is the change, you could say. There's nothing trying to change anything. There's nothing wrong. That what I was saying before, like there's underneath, that's that energetic sense of there's something wrong. And suddenly it's not there anymore. And then, oh, how could I think there's something wrong? Of course not. And that it's not only in the head, of course, because that's just clarity, but there's something, it's just not there. And it can be noticed, not noticed, doesn't matter so much. So it doesn't matter what's happening. Rose never made a wrong decision. A wrong decision is about that you don't feel right. So there's sadness or maybe pain or maybe another feeling. So no, there's no wrong decision. There's only something doing and can be pain. There's no relation between decisions and feelings also. There can be feelings, and then that's what's happening. And there can be thinking, oh, because of that, oh, because of what you said, but it's not really serious. It's not serious. It can't be serious because it's not real. It's not like that. So I can say it, but no, it's not really like that. So it's not serious. It's no energy, no really energy in it. And it's sad. So nothing is wrong. That's amazing. It's just so normal that you forget it was there. And in the same time, it's amazing. That's the joy, that's the freedom. Like everything is just happening, and pain, there's no wrong. So there's nothing going on about not wanting it or not having it. It's just there. It can be there. Nothing going on about it. It's amazing. When there's someone, there's always something subtly going on, like wanting to feel good, wanting to make it right, wanting to something for yourself to feel good, something like that. That can be subtle or strong. It's always about you somewhere. That's so embodied. And that can be lost.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
When you're saying this, there's obviously some kind of resonance going on.
Mm-hmm.
And even though logically I can't see what you're saying, the resonance is apparently happening. And then I'm thinking, but then there's this real curiosity, like, how can I see what she's talking about? But is that the whole time me trying to know what you're talking about, covering it over?
Yeah. Well, that resonance can be much more stronger. Yeah, that's what's really happening in this kind of meetings, that there's somewhere a resonance and in some way. Yeah. It's a killer.
That's what I'm hoping.
No, you don't. It's both. It's somewhere you hope it and somewhere, oh no, something going on. Yeah, that's the fight of me. Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether I hope for it or scared of it, because there's no possibility of choosing whether that contracted energy dies or not anyway.
No, and it has nothing to do with you. It's energetic. So I don't know. So how that goes, it can be very strong, that energy, like wanting to, can be very strong, or sometimes strong and not strong. And it's energetic, it's embodied. Yeah.
And it's so different in every story. Like, obviously there's the speakers I know of who communicate this, like you and Tony and Andreas and stuff. And the story of how that energy came to the end, there's no similarity in the stories in terms of how long it took or how it was intense, or, you know, however.
Yeah. No. And a lot of people, maybe it's not even noticed, and they just are having a store or something like that. It's not only people who are talking about it. Of course not. No. It can be not noticed because it's so normal. So then it's gone, and it's just no big deal.
Yeah, it's only noticed, I suppose, when it goes. It's only noticed if it comes back.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, like that, like if it's a glimpse and then the me comes back, the me notices, oh, what was that? Whereas if the me energy didn't come back, there wouldn't be a noticing that something had gone. Yeah,
but there's also what's can happen here is then there coming a lot of thoughts suddenly, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And there are a lot of thoughts about something that gone wrong, like what's happening here? And then it's nearly convincing, something like that. It can be very strong, and then suddenly it's gone. But that can happen still. I don't know how that happens. Maybe something is relaxing. I don't know if that's like that. So that it's not that all those thoughts never happen. It can, but there's no one taking it home or picking it up or something. How do you say it?
Yeah.
But it's not that I think, oh, I don't have to put it up to take it, or I something that you know. It's just not possible, or so. It's just not going like that.
Yeah.
It's energetic.
Okay.
But when it's going like that, and it's still believed, and there's something picking it up, and that's the energy. That's how life is. So that's the energy. That's complete. But we have like, oh, but I don't feel very well. But because I think when there's no me anymore, life should be much more easy or things like that. We make an image of it. Yeah. And it would be better. It's not better. But when there's somebody like you, in that very busy in that search, and you see me and you say, yeah, okay, it's not better. So you don't believe it because, you're so convinced. And I can say everything about, it's just the same. It's just, but you think, no, it's not. So, yeah, that's how it goes.
It's only the me who makes the divisions. This is one thing, this is another thing. So this is me, that's no me. There's a difference. I see the separation.
Yeah, and it's just a belief, and it's something you really think that's true because it's your thought, and it's really, you make an image of what is going on here. You don't know, but it can be so convincing, and you think, no, I don't have that. So I don't, I still going on. It's so convincing. The me is so clever. It's so clever because that's the comparing. And it's believed like that. It's just not noticed that it's believed, but it seems like so true. And I can't say anything about that. And that belief can be stronger. So then that's stronger. That's the only thing there is. For the rest, it's just the same, of course. No better life. No.
Thanks, Rose.
No, thank you. Oh, there's Keith. Hi, from South Africa, Rose. Thank you for the simplicity of your words. It seems just a glimpse is enough to turn one's life on its head. Nothing matters anymore. Can be like that. Yeah. Oh, there's another one before that. It sounds life is being seen in a big picture. No, it's not a big picture. I don't see a big picture. I don't see everything. Everything is just the room. There's nothing outside. There's nothing inside. It's just very childlike. Like there's only seeing the front and there's nothing going on, but there's something inside or somewhere else. There's no outside. Of course, the brain is still working and there's still knowing that when I look outside and there's a street, there's just living in Amsterdam and things like that. But when there's really talking in this and in those meetings, it's very obvious. It's just this. There's nothing more than that. So there's no seeing a big picture or something like that. The knowing, it's unknowing. The knowing is just lost. It's unknowing. That can be frightening. There's nothing knowing. No, there's just unknowing. Just feelings or seeing a table.
Hi, Rose. Is it okay if I say something else?
Sure.
In this message, it's just become clear to me after all this time, this message doesn't say there's anything that shouldn't be happening, because if I think, okay, seeking is bad and it shouldn't be happening, but then no seeking is good, so I have to get there. That's like a spirituality or a religion. one thing shouldn't be happening, so we have to get to the right place. Whereas in this message, you said if it's happening, then that's already it. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's basically saying there's nothing out
of that's it. Yeah. I think the message word the word that. I think it will become that. It's nice. Oh, great.
So if there's an apparent me here saying, I need what I want, I need this, then that's...
Yeah, it can be very strong. And you can't stop it. It's not like, oh, I won't do that. It's stronger than somebody saying, no, I don't want that. That's another part. I want it. No, you don't say it. Oh, yeah. It's gone. It's like, it's endless.
The problem for me is obviously when I look at the world, I see things that I think are problems. And I think if there really was a me with free will and choice, we could stop those things. Because obviously there's no me. Otherwise, you know, a lot of these problems, like people say, like, for example, they want to stop this or they want to stop that, whatever addiction it is, but they don't really have the power to choose to stop that addiction. It just carries on or it goes. But then I think I project, oh, there's someone in there suffering if they have a certain behavior they can't stop, like an addiction or whatever it is.
Yeah, but the apparent world, the apparent events, it's not real. It's the energy. It has nothing to do with something really happening. So wanting to change that, there's nothing going on. It's just an apparent something, seeing people suffering, or it's so clear, and I can't tell you how I see it, because I don't have the words. I don't know how to say. The events and that energy, what's going on, that's the same. The war in the world, you could say in simple terms, it's that me energy. It's like wanting, oh no, yes and no. That's the war. That's that fight going on, and showing in events like, oh, there's always somewhere, there's the fight, it's the surviving, and then the war, and that, no, I don't know why you have to do the right thing, and that's that me war that's seen in the world or in wherever.
Yeah.
That's the energy that's going, and it's not wrong, it's just not real. It's also apparent, so, but it doesn't mean that you say like somebody said, like, oh, I'm sitting there and nothing matters. No, that's something else. That's a concept. There can be a passion for something, for a sport, or for knowing, or for anything, of course.
Okay, thanks, Rose.
Yeah, thanks.
Could you say, you were speaking about the war, could you say it's not real because it's empty at the same time?
Yeah.
And because of that, it doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter because it's everything. It doesn't matter, doesn't mean like, oh, don't bother about it or something like that. It doesn't matter means like it's everything. So if it's this, that's it, or if it's something else, that's it too. So in that sense, it doesn't matter. It's everything.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's empty and it's full together. It's empty and the fullness is the apparent happening. And that's full, that's complete. That's what's happening. And it's empty at the same time. It's nothing and everything. And the everything is apparent. It seems to be the events and the bodies, and it's full. Everything is just full, complete as it is. Nothing needs to happen or need to change. It's already that. And that is exactly what is going on. It's the way the hand moves, it's how the voice is talking and what is seen. That's what's happening. And when there's an abstract mind going, trying to understand, then that's the energy, that's life happening. It's not someone doing that and that needs to be lost or so. There's already no one. It's just empty. There is no one doing anything. Everything is life already. And life is always full on, like the way it is. Everything is full on. And that doesn't mean it is to have too much energy. That what we associate with full on. Full on is just like it happens. So sitting on the couch, just not doing anything, that's full on. Exactly how it is, that's the full on. If there's a tree, that's full on treeing, just like it is. And everything is just what it is. That's everything. Very simple, just life appearing as all kinds of images and bodies, events, circumstances. Nothing is real. Everything is apparently real, and it doesn't mean that you say, oh, then nothing matters, like dull, nothing matters. No, nothing matters because it's everything. It's already everything. So when this is happening, then this is it. Then there's for sure that feeling. And when maybe there's joy, then that's maybe there's nothing going on and just making coffee, or then that's full on. There's only one. There's only one. Nothing needs to change. That's what the abstract mind looks, and awareness with it looks at it and thinks like, oh, there's something not right, because that's part of that me system. There's something not right because there's a distance. There's something not right. There's something missing. That's the misunderstanding. But it can be so embodied, and there can be a search for something that's missing. That can be in anything. And it's always in the story. It seems like it's always in the story because that's what you know. That seems the only thing there is. And this has nothing to do with the story. Nothing is happening. It's only an apparent story. There's already no me. So nowhere to go. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Mm.